Welcome back. This is Arunava Chaudhary. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It's Saturday, November the 23rd, 2024, and it's another Indian football discussion here on my channel. Those of you who might be new to the channel, welcome. Those of you who are regulars, welcome back. And let's talk about all that has happened today. Matches both in the ISL as well as in the I-League. Northeast United 2-1 winners at Punjab FC with 10 men. Red card to Dinesh. Had to fight it off in the end. And in the evening, then Mohun Bagan Supergiant beat Jamshedpur FC to go top of the ISL table. And that's what it is over there. While meanwhile in the I-League, Namdhari FC versus Delhi FC, goalless. And Aizawl FC versus Dempo Sports Club, also goalless. Return of the former, not former champions, but the record I-League / NFL champions. That's good to see that Dempo are back at this level. Good to see them back there. And again, a matchup of two former I-League champions as well. So that's a good sign. As always, those of you who are watching, if you like what you're seeing, not even those of you who are live, but maybe you might watch it. And if you like this or would like to watch other videos as well, do subscribe to Arunfoot here on YouTube. So this is the basic thing that I always want to start with. And of course, yes, the next aim is to get to 2,000 subscribers. And as I've been saying now for a while, once I cross that 2,000 mark, I will start doing a few interviews with people that I'll be bringing you on a regular basis. So therefore, support Arunfoot here on YouTube, and we will hopefully have more people with us to discuss things here on Indian football. Let's go through the matches today if you want to. From my side, of course, an interesting match between Punjab FC and Northeast United. I thought a good quality game between those two sides in which Northeast United looked the better team at the start with Guillermo with an excellent opportunistic goal set up by Ajare and Hi Aman, and then Nestor Albaich with a second, which was an excellent goal, but actually it wasn't the perfect technique, but a brilliant goal. They were 2-0 up. Dinesh gets a second yellow late in injury time of the first session. Punjab FC have 45 plus minutes, an extra man. Can't really make it count. Novoselic is the one who gets them a goal late on. Good evening, Blue. 2-1, but they are unable to get the equalizer while Northeast United hang on. And that, to me, raises the question now, can we call Northeast United a top team in the ISL? Is it now time to call out Northeast United and say Northeast United are a top side in the Indian Super League? What do you guys think? Let me know on that, because I think because I think that's something which I feel Northeast United are getting there, and Pedro Benali is getting a side to be there. Did you watch I-League matches? Aman, I watched a little bit of Aizawl FC and Dempo Sports Club. It was poor. Whatever I saw was very, very poor in my opinion. But on the other side, I have to say that the broadcast quality was good. SSEN today. So the broadcast was good. That second match, I don't know who the commentators were in the first game, but in the second game, it was Vashwar Ghosh and Paul Lobda as the commentators. And Paul Lobda, of course, a very, very experienced commentator in Indian football. And on this side, Vashwar one of the rising young commentators in the game. So therefore, that was good. Overall, the coverage looked good, but the football was pathetic, I have to say. And yeah, I agree. I think that's something that we need to talk about, right? That is something that, whatever these people are saying, it is very, very worrying, in my opinion, when you see the quality of the I-League, that the quality was, it was really, really poor. Why do I think that Northeast United is the top team? I think, Aman, they're getting the results, right? So therefore, on that front, let's see. Hi, Manolo. Welcome back. Khalid again exposed. This is for the people who say Indian coaches are better. Nah, Manolo, this is especially for Khalid. He has to do better. And not only him, also Stephen Dias. But again, in this form, Jamshedpur FC are not a team who will fight. So they will not fight for top 6. I mean, I know they was hyped up in those early matches, and I think both Goa and Mumbai City need to ask themselves how they were able to lose. Only Kashi, Bokulam, and Deccan was decent. I agree. Inter Kashi looked good yesterday, but only scored 1 goal against Sporting Club Bengaluru, and that Gokul Kellara and Srinidhi Deccan game was exciting till the end. So therefore, from that extent, those are the 3 teams that I've said before, who I think are going to be fighting for the title, and to me, Inter Kashi are the favorites. So I'd be very, very interested to see how these 3 teams, so to say, play out their season. As I say, they are for me the 3 favorites, one of those 3 teams, and I think they deserve a look into the ISL. If I look at the other teams, these are the best in that league. I saw I-League for 5 minutes, and it was played like a state league game. Yeah, I mean, it was very poor. I didn't see the first match, so I can't comment on it. But the second match, I mean, we're still talking about ISL FC, right? We're talking Dempo. I don't know what they were trying to do. It looked really bad. And then if people are saying that certain players should be playing in the national team, I don't know how these players can play national teams, to be very honest. Northeast United Reserve defeated Gokulam. Yeah, that also happens in the Sikkim Governors Gold Cup. If international football level is 10, ISL level is 5, and I-League is -10. Okay, Manolo, being quite open, quite honest, and quite brutal today here. Because I think, let's hope. My thought with the I-League was that with them getting so much of time to prepare, it would look better. I don't know what you guys think, but I thought the I-League would be ready, and I don't know. I hope no one from Sony watched today, because they would be then thinking, what am I putting onto my platform, right? You're getting paid for it, but still, you're putting it on. 13 goals in 3 matches. Jamshedpur FC defense looks non-existent. And Mohun Bagan could have scored more, right? So that's the scary part for Jamshedpur. And there will be now, I guess, the first conversations happening in regard to the coach, so yeah, that's it's going to happen in regard to Khalid. I think that conversation will now start, and but again, I don't know what people see, what the Tatas want to do. It looks like to me that they're running the club in the sense of saying, we're running the club, we're fine with it, and I feel that's a scary situation for an entity like the Tatas, who are, if you look at what they're trying to do with Air India at the moment, and the merger with Vistara, and then you see Jamshedpur FC is like, I don't know, as if you don't want it, but you have to run it. Khalid is not being saved by individual brilliance now. Yeah. That's what I said, Manu, right? at the start of the season, I felt Javi Hernandez, especially Chima Chukwu, Sanan, Mohamed Sanan, to some extent Lendungal, all these guys were doing something. Javi Severio at the moment not able to score goals. Even Steven Eze couldn't bring back that defensive stability to their defense. It is a tough one. It is a tough one now for Jamshedpur, and they need to find solutions. They need to find solutions quickly. Today, I-League matches were boring. Yeah, Aman, as discussed, I think they were very, very boring. And Namdari FC and Delhi FC, that's the one. But the other one also, I expected a little more. I watched before the start of the Mohun Bagan Jamshedpur match, half an hour of that, and it was not good. As I said, SSEN, the broadcasting was good. I liked the graphics. I liked the overall get-up. It was fine. The commentary was good, but the game wasn't, right? They were punting the ball forward, hoping someone will get it. And, it's difficult for the commentators. I know you have been in that situation where, you have to make these boring matches more interesting than they are. And they were trying their best, but it's going to be difficult to be able to sell it for something better than it is. And that's, I think, the big challenge at the moment when you look at the I-League. Delhi Punjab game was poor too. Delhi can't score against 10 men. Team. Yeah. Nandhari, last season also quite a few red cards. Let's see how they continue this season. I think Khalid will be sacked. Okay, let's see. He is now under a bit of pressure, I feel. Because I think you can win, you can lose. There are ways to lose also, but these 3 losses do hurt, right? And Jamshedpur now 3 losses in a row. Of course, they have 12 points from 8 matches, but they've got a goal difference of -8. So their goal difference is as bad as that of Mohammedan Sporting and of East Bengal. The only thing is that they've conceded 19 goals now. So the most goals conceded in the league now this season is Jamshedpur FC. And that is something that I think should be very, very worrying to Khalid and his men, because, I said last match, Khalid's behavior, in my opinion, wasn't acceptable. Got red carded for that, of course, against Chennai FC. Substituting Albino wasn't the wisest move in that game as well. They had now 2 weeks to recover, but it seems to have continued, and that's going to be the big question now with can they turn it around? So that's going to be the big question, I think. Just let me check who are they playing next. 1 second before I say something wrong here. They host on Monday, December 2nd, Mohammedan Sporting, if I see this right. Second and check. Yeah. So they've got some time to work on it. They've then got a home game. But again, it's still Jamshedpur FC. Didn't look good to me. Liston did score a good goal, but missed 2 sure goals for his selfishness and stupidity. Blue. We've discussed this I don't know how many times, and I think it's in my opinion, it's a never-ending story. Players like Liston Colasso, Indian wingers, that they need to do more, and to me, Liston has tried to do certain things, sometimes well, sometimes not. But again, I think important for him was that he did score. So let's take that as a positive. But I think, he had opportunities here or there. There could have been other opportunities which didn't happen. So from that perspective, I'd say, take the positives, I guess, today. I don't think Khalid will be sacked because Tata don't care about football much now. If they do care, then they would have never appointed Khalid as coach. I agree with you on that second premise, because that's what I'm feeling also. If Tata really cared, they would have done something with this team. They would have invested at least a little bit more money, brought in a little bit better players, most probably, tried to retain the one other player. But if Khalid, again, it is still a Tata-owned company, and if he's going to lose like this 2 or 3 more matches, then I feel it could be a situation where, where um, the management might be forced to act. So therefore, um, I don't think they like to see the news too often. Jamshedpur FC have lost again in a bad way, right? And that's something that I think the Tatas will not like. So therefore, from that perspective, I think that might be something that might hurt him. So therefore, not sure, but that's my feeling at this moment. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jamshedpur FC. Yeah, I think best positive is Dimi getting back form slowly. Yeah, Blue needs to. Greg Stewart is still out. Mohun Bagan will need him. Interesting. Also, the not much talked about is the turnaround of Mohun Super Giant under Jose Molina. Right. If we go back, a few weeks back, we were talking that Molina could be sacked like Carlos Cuadrat, or could be on his way out like Carlos Cuadrat. Seems like things have changed again, and top of the table, and that shows you this ISL, what can happen, and it's an interesting scenario with the standings today. That's why I wanted to also go through the standings once. Hi Rushabh, welcome back. Wanted to go through the standings once of the ISL. So Mohun Bagan are now top, 17 points, as are Bangalore FC. At the moment, of course, this is by goal difference. Mohun Bagan has +8, Bangalore have +7. So Bangalore, for the first time for a while, no longer top of the table after a loss and a draw. Northeast United on 15 points are third. So Northeast United now, but have already played 9 games. Then we have Chennai, Goa, Punjab, and Jamshedpur all on 12 points. 8 matches played for Chennai, for Goa, and for Jamshedpur. Punjab FC have only 7, so they can move to Northeast United still. But even Punjab now with 2 losses in a row. Mumbai City are 8th with 10 points from 7 games. So they could leapfrog all these teams on Tuesday when they host Punjab FC. Odisha are in 9th spot with 9 points from 8 matches. The Blasters have 8 points from 8 matches, 10th. Hyderabad FC have 7 from 7. They are 11th. Mohammedan Sporting have 5 points from 7 games, are 12th. And bottom of the table at the moment are East Bengal FC with only 1 point from 7 games. And that 1 point came in the last game, in the first point of the season. And so that's the situation. And if we look at who's up next, next matches. Tomorrow it's Kerala Blasters versus Chennai FC. Monday has Hyderabad FC versus Odisha FC. Tuesday sees what I call the Ranava Chaudhary derby. Mumbai City FC versus Punjab FC. Yes, my 2 former teams meet each other at the Mumbai Football Arena. Wednesday then Mohammedan Sporting versus Bangalore FC. Thursday has the Blasters hosting FC Goa. Friday has East Bengal hosting Northeast United, high-flying Northeast United. Saturday, Super Saturday next week. Mumbai City versus Hyderabad FC in the early kickoff. Mohun Bagan Super Giants versus Chennai FC in the evening kickoff. And then next Sunday, Odisha FC against Bangalore FC. So quite some action over the coming week that we will see. Sachin asked, which volley do you think better, Nesta or Aldred? I think Aldred was better because he touched the ball the way he wanted to. So therefore, that's why it's better. Nesta, of course, touched it with his shin, but it still went in perfectly. So if he had touched his foot, I don't know. That's the interesting part. No, we'll never get to know if Nesta Albaij, if he had touched it properly, if the ball would have gone in or would have flown somewhere else. But from that perspective, 2 very, very good goals. But that goal from Aldred in that first half for Mohun Bagan was really impressive, to say the least. Yeah, after that phase, Molina really turned around. I think Blue Molina, yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, how many draws, how many losses there were also for Mohun Bagan in that phase. Um, Matches with conceding a minimum of 2 goals also. That they've stabilized. That he's actually gone for Aldred and Alberto in defense. You know, I think that would be interesting to see what happens over there. But to me, yeah, Molina seems to have understood what he needs to do to get the best out of his team, and he's getting out the results. So from that perspective, I think that's the challenge that Molina has, and I think he's been successful. Very confident PIO OCI player can help to qualify for World Cup. See, Sachin, to me, one thing is clear, which I feel is that we would be better with PIO and OCI players. So if you ask me that question, then I'll tell you that we would be stronger, better as a national team. So let me put it that way. Can we qualify for a World Cup? If I look at other teams and look at the situation in the third round of qualifiers, I think we could be part of those qualifiers. Yes, I think we could qualify. But I'm not going to say we would for sure, but I think we could be in that mix, which we aren't at the moment. You know, so therefore that's something which, if you ask me, that would be my take on the current scenario. Do you think Mumbai City FC can make a comeback in Shield race? Manolo, the next week will be, I think, very, very crucial for Mumbai City. 2 games, Punjab and Hyderabad. If they can win those 2, they suddenly stand on 16 points. They're in the middle of it. Too many draws from matches which they could have won. So therefore, from that perspective, I think, yes, they are still. The race is open because the league is very, very very mixed, because we've had now, certain teams looked very good at the start. We were talking about Punjab, we were talking about Jamshedpur, then the talk moved to BFC. Now we have Mohun Bagan, who seem to be there, so therefore nothing lost. 4 clean sheets are impressive too, after 2 goals conceded at least. Yeah, bro, that's what I said, but he had to go and put in Tom Aldred and Alberto Rodriguez in the heart of defense as centre backs. That has been now the trick. The question is, if one of them gets suspended, is injured. We saw that at the other end with Stephen Eze, that one defender. We saw that last season where in Goa when Jingan got injured, one player out, and suddenly these teams sort of seem to crack. And so therefore, let's wait and see. To me, Mohun Bagan look very, very solid at the moment. Hi, notes to myself. As far as ISL is concerned, the quality of Mohun Bagan Supergiant is a bit ahead of all others. What's your take on this Mohun Bagan Supergiant team in comparison to East Bengal FC? I don't think they're a bit ahead of the others. I think they are one of the better ones, but they're making it work at the moment. So it's working for Mohun Bagan Supergiant. I still think that the squad composition is not perfect. As I said, if Tom Aldred or Alberto gets injured, I think that could lead to problems. East Bengal are better than in the last few years, certainly from the names. Now the question is, can Oscar create a team out of this? Can he get the best playing 11 out of this? And I think it's not the perfect mix. There's still something's missing. We're realizing that some of the teams, let's say today it was evident Punjab FC didn't have really the bench to threaten Northeast United, right? And that's something which East Bengal also has. They have a good first 11, 12, 13 players, but then the bench becomes an issue. And if Nanda and Mahesh are now going to miss, at least Mahesh is going to miss one match, Nanda is going to miss multiple matches, and then we'll see. But I think, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. BFC has a good team. Mumbai City still has a good team. So it'll be very interesting to see. Can India be in top 10 in Asia with OCI? I think so. I certainly think so. I have actually created a video. I'm actually, while we speak, I am actually working to upload that video. Because to me, that's the question, right? The question is, not if OCI can help, but I think we need to talk about, when will these OCI players play for India? Because I think we need them. We desperately need them. And to me, that's a question that in some sort of form way needs to be asked, right? Uh, uh, you know, so therefore, yeah. So to me, if you ask me, yes. If you ask me, can they make that the difference between being in a World Cup or not being in a World Cup? I think OCI players have the quality to make us stand out and be better, to be able to play in a World Cup, because I think that these players are that puzzle at the moment that would make our team better. In my opinion, even some players, it might be it might be a situation where where OCI where they need to where they can be the difference, I think, in my opinion, for bigger things. I think Mohun Super Giant take back-to-back ISL Shield. Sachin, let's wait and see. I find PO can fill deficiencies in attacking line, in striker position. They will give good balance. But I think they can give us good balance across the field, right? I think we've had that conversation on a Twitter space, I think last year, where we were talking about, does it make sense to maybe restrict it to 2, 3, 4, 5 players? It depends. At the moment, if I look at the quality and if I look at where the requirements are, I would say to us, maybe we should think of utilizing players of origin in every position possible. So to me, if you ask me, I would always say utilize players of origin wherever there is a requirement. Let's not restrict ourselves to a certain position and say, we want players of origin in strikers or as attacking players or here or there. Let's take them in every position. Indonesia is level below India, but Dutch players made the difference. So India should look for English players whose great grandfathers were born in East India or whose wife had Indian heritage. Okay. Okay. A wife had Indian heritage. I mean, the wife factor doesn't come in because the wife factor will not get you Indian passport. You have to have some origin links to get an Indian passport. So not a question. One thing you understand working in football in developing nation, what difference you see? Better understanding of football. Their understanding of football and trying to work in football, it makes your life easier in a developed football world. So my understanding is very, very clear that in here in Europe, for example, it is much easier to get things done than compared to let's say in India, right? Or let's say in Africa, in the Middle East, even Asia. Let's say Asia in general, or even the Caribbean. Only Danny Bath, OCI player who play in Championship from Norwich, but he's very old and other player in 4th division of Germany and other countries. No such. We've got 3, 4 players in the Championship in League One. We've got a couple of players in the Scottish League. We've got players in North America. So therefore, yeah, we've got players. We don't have the quality like the Dutch. Yeah, we have to be honest like that. Sorry, the Indonesians with their Dutch players. That is very, very true. But they're still better than us. If Liston can improve his first touch and decision making, he will be unstoppable at first Indian circuit. His attacking threat and work rate is immense. Yeah, but Shomo, do you think that he can improve those things? That would be then my question. How do you rate Robin Singh compared to current striker? I find him better and threatening in long range. Morally, Robin had 2 things. It's Robin had physicality on his side, intelligent boy, and that made him stand out, in my opinion. And that's why Robin was able to do things which others were not. So yeah, so that's the challenge, in my opinion, with someone like him. Can he really perform? and we'll wait and see. If Tom Aldred and Alberto Rodriguez, injured, they have Ruiz on the bench, no problem with it. No, Ruiz is not on the bench. Ruiz is not registered, right? Sachin, they have a problem. Hi, Kumar, welcome back. I'm talking about players who are not having direct link to India, but European-looking guys having slightest of Indian genes, like Indonesia. But it's the cat. Those guys have, most of them have mothers who are Indonesian, right? They have direct links. The Filipinos have direct links. They might not look Indonesian, but they are Indonesian. If tomorrow government of India allows OCI stay, we'll have that striker problem. There is no Indian origin striker playing at top level anywhere in the world. Who says that, Shomo? I at least know two who would make a difference as a striker. OCI will definitely push us to standards way beyond our reach, but it will force them to leave their main passport. It will never work. Reporter Faker Gupta, players are ready to take on an Indian passport, right? But for that, you can't make them wait for 5 years or say come to India, play 5 years and then get a passport. That's the government of India needs to do its side of the homework. Do you think structure they bought up made the difference compared to our player, or if we had some development process, it would be different? Murali, there's a lot of factors. Why certain things work in certain countries, why in certain countries it doesn't work. In certain countries, it's about the infrastructure. In certain countries, it's about the structure of football. In certain countries, they don't have anything, but they still develop talent. So will it work in India? Again, I always say our infrastructure, at least in the cities nowadays, is better than in most parts of the world. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, say Rodrigo had a little bit of Indian gene, so like him, there are others. We have to look for them. They're not going to get an Indian passport. It's not going to work. Do you think Bagan's defense is stronger than last year? Sambam, at the moment, it's always we are in the moment. If you had asked me this question 5-6 weeks ago, I would have said no. At the moment, I will say yes. Ask me this question 4 weeks again, let's say, around Christmas, I might say no again. So this is the challenge in football, right? That today it might be like this, tomorrow it might be like that, and then we'll see. You often say our club and fans live in La La Land. You'll find same thing happened in developed nation. Listen, club fans around the world live in La La Land. Most club fans. Those who are failing, always their fans live in La La Land. Not always, but often, right? And it's not a question of developed or non-developed. Current generation ISL followers haven't heard about Rolly Tolly pair. It was monitored for opposition at the time. Yeah. How do you rate Paulo Jerry in terms of technical finding and swag? Paulo Jerry? I don't know. Which you mean, Murali? Do you think changing for better for the next year I-League ISL, if FSL does not renew contract, give views on Kalyan going back from his words to Totianis regarding the broadcast? Listen, the question at the moment to me is very simple. We've just had a week of unnecessary chaos created by the AIFF. Around the I-League. But on the other side, when you look at the I-League and look at the standard of football, if I was a Sony executive and would put this up on my channel, I would say, keep your money. I don't want to show it. It was too bad. This quality of football will not get people to watch Indian football. Sorry to say that, right? And that's the challenge. The quality has to be better, right? And for that, don't blame the AIFF. It's on the clubs, right? But on the other side, when we talk about quality and other things, and what needs to happen, what doesn't need to happen, where we are, what we need to do, the AIFF is experimenting something with Ranchi. Let's see how it works. As I said today, the quality of broadcast was good. Weirdly, I don't know why SSEN here in Germany was free to watch, or I was able to watch it. But on the other side, what's the future of the system? If FSDL pull out, I think people don't realize how much of not just money, but money and input Reliance give and ensure to make the ISL what it is. I think it is, people take it for granted, and that's the problem. Rodri say Ronaldo not as talented player in his last interview, and Hazard says better than Ronaldo. What do you think? Haven't heard those interviews, so I can't really judge. But again, I think what Rodri might be saying is that Ronaldo is a hard worker, right? And Cristiano Ronaldo has worked his way up, similar like Sunil Chetri or a Baichung Bhutia, right? So to me, yeah, let's see. Will they be able to continue in their league if they get an Indian passport but have to give up EU slot? Reporter Faker Gupta, that would be they don't have some countries don't have non-European slots. The question is, if you have played in that system, you theoretically are allowed to play on in the system. So there's a lot of questions that will remain, but so therefore, yeah, let's wait and see what they do. But the first question to the government is are you willing to fast track people willing to take on Indian citizenship? I know enough players who are willing to take on Indian citizenship, OCIs, right? And they would strengthen our national team. But the government, again, Izumi Arata in the 2000s needed 5 years. He was playing in India, was playing at East Bengal and Mahindra and then Pune FC. He needed 5 years to get an Indian passport. He was 32, 33 by the time he got the passport. We missed the best years of Arata to play for our national team. So that's the thing. Won't ranking work? No, it won't. There are ways of getting that, because you can put your some of the European countries will allow you to put your passport dormant in your playing days, and once you're done with your playing days, you can get your passport back. And there are special rulings. It's not just a normal citizen changing citizenship. Do you think technique or physicality what made difficult compared to other striker? What about? More his physicality, but his technical ability was underrated. That's what I would say about Robin. But the height, the build, the size, the football intelligence that Robin also had, that made him different. And low, I think you're talking about Jopal Ancheri. Jopal, in his days, also had physicality on his side, right? So therefore, Jopal was a different player. When will Indian strikers get chance in ISL? It's the cat. Very simple. When they are better than the other players, So for me, when they're better, they'll get a chance. When they're not better, they'll play the foreigners. Is it real Rodriguez OCI link with Bangladesh? Sachin, don't know. I haven't heard that. I was checking our national team's ELO ratings. It's so realistic that Malaysia is right above us, lol. We are below in FIFA ranking. Yeah, Rishabh, the FIFA rankings are nice gimmick, I always say. But it's not something that realistically shows where we or where other teams, where other nations stand, right? So that's the reality of things. Do you see any current players becoming the main striker for a team like the legendary Sunil Chetri once did? Difficult. It's the cat, if you ask me. Sunil, if you look at it, Sunil came onto the scene, burst onto the scene while he was still at Mohun Bagan. He was struggling at Mohun Bagan, went to JCT, and JCT had an exceptional season together with Ranveer Singh and Chidi Ade. They finished second in the league, and the rest, as they say, is history. So Sunil was there by the time Baichung retired. Sorry. So at the moment, our problem is that I don't know who is the heir apparent, because I don't see anyone who is regularly playing at the top level and can replace that. Hey Deepak, hi Deepak. Sorry, I missed those sports coverage. Curious, Harry, arunfoot the football conversations. Yeah, let's see how we can reactivate some of those conversations. SSCN is free to watch in India too. Okay, interesting. Blue and Mank says it's also free for him in Italy. Okay, I don't know if it's something to tease fans, so therefore, yeah, let's wait and see. Unpopular opinion, but if the whole idea of having foreigners is to raise the level of league, it's not working. If you lose to Bangladeshi teams, might as well go all Indian and go and get players in position. Yeah, reporter Faker Gupta. But if I look at the football, I mean, we saw Aizawl FC today, a squad of only Mizos, right? And Mizoram has done better than other states, in my opinion, over the last decade. Yeah. I don't think it'll work. And I think there will not be any interest to watch ISL or I-League also. How will things unfold for AIFF? Kalyan, do we as Indian football community need to do another Pro Full Out? Mayank, congratulations to the Pro Full Out campaign. Those who did the Pro Full Out campaign have gotten us into this mess. Thank you to those football fans that they've screwed Indian football. They know what we need, right? Football fans need to support. But when football fans get involved in things, Asian Games last year, thank you very much, Indian football fans. That was not needed, right? Football fans think just causes, think there is a cause, think they understand things. I'm sorry to say that. Indian football fans know nothing about what happens in the background. Yeah? There are people who are selling narratives, selling ideas. It is, there are people in the background who try to keep this whole bloody thing together. You don't even know who those people are, But for these people, it is becoming tougher and tougher to keep Indian football together. It's literally imploding at the moment. But hey, we're fine, right? That's my concern. Sorry to say that, because I'm also an Indian football fan, but I'm a little bit in a different position. But let's see. Do you think if Edmund performs well and scored a couple of goals, he will move to any ISL club in January, or will it be a sensible move toward the end of the season? Rishabh, he has a long-term contract with Inter Kashi. Inter Kashi wants to get promoted, so a January move is first of all out of the question, and ideally he moves with Inter Kashi to the ISL next year. Really impressed with crowd in Namdani match. Okay, Prasanjit. So Bagan gelling up well. What do you think? And I'm yet to hear your top 6 ISL top 6 predictions. Yeah, but again, this season has proven, or last season has also proven, that if teams are doing good for 4, 5, 6 matches, that's nice. But the league last season was 22 matches. This season it's 24 matches. And to me, I think most of the usual suspects will find themselves in the top 6. Mohun Bagan is going to be one of them. Mumbai City will be one of them. I think BFC will be amongst them in the top 6. FC Goa will be amongst them. Northeast United. So we've got 5, and then there will be a big fight for the last slot. that would be, yeah. So that would be sort of my. I said about yeah, Joe Paul Ancheri, Nick Lo Paolo Jerry, Joe Paul Ancheri Murali. That's the name. When will Hamza play for Bangladesh? Did play for national team? How was his performance? Hamza, I don't know. Hamza, I don't know where the visa is. Sorry, the passport thing is stuck. I guess it'll happen in 2025. You know, so yeah, let's wait and see. Rodri wanted to say Ronaldo isn't a generation talent like Messi, rather a hard worker, but Middle United fans portrayed it like he said something bad. They are hating Rodri for no reason. Blue, it is the same thing as we have in Indian football with East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, or Mohammedan or Blasters fans. If they want to understand something wrong, and not understand really what the person tried to say, they will understand it that way, and that's part of the problem, right? Right. Already didn't realize 46 plus minutes into our Saturday evening live, a day of double headers in the I League and in the ISL. If you like what you're seeing, do like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. Currently 9 likes on this video. I think we can do better on that. And 1,949 subscribers now on this channel. Thank you very much, everybody. 51 to go to 2,000. As I told you, once I cross that 2,000 mark, I'll be start doing some interviews. So therefore, help me to get to that mark. And then, yeah, those interviews will be coming. We can't focus on grassroots academy and can't take responsibility as our club's main responsibility is to win by club. Secretary Mohun Bagan. Sambit, yeah. I will call it out that I don't agree with this. I don't agree on this point with Devashish Dotto, because I think a club like Mohun Bagan has a duty towards Indian football and not just say, hey, listen, we want to win matches. And I think, and this is something that he also, as someone who's running Mohun Bagan Athletic Club, as the secretary of the club, needs to explain to the fans. And if he's going to get stick for it, he needs to accept that stick, but say, listen, guys, we want to develop, something. So therefore, for me, yeah, what he said is very sad. But that to me, and I've said this multiple times, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Mohammedan don't play to win. They don't play to develop anything. They win to their first team to win things. So that's the problem where he's stuck. I don't see much difference in match quality in ISL and I-League. Sanjit, really? Just watch the matches today. Just watch Punjab FC versus Northeast United. And then I watched Aizawl FC versus Jamshedpur FC. And then I watched Mohun Bagan against Jamshedpur FC. The ISL was pathetic today. There is massive difference. It's a day and night difference. Watch it properly. The I-League is terrible. Terrible to watch at the moment. And I've watched the I-League since day one. It was really pathetic football today. Sorry to say that so drastically, so openly. It was really shite football. But now you said there are players willing to get an Indian passport. As things stand, they'll have to move to India first and get a passport in 5 years, right? And then why has anyone moved yet? Rushabh, a 5-year window to potentially get an Indian passport, living in India, not interesting. Yeah. So therefore, it doesn't work. Shan Hundal is a PIO player of India playing Canada Top League in 27 matches, 10 goal contribution. Yeah, Sachin actually did a interview with Shan last year, and then lovely guy. And again, we spoke about it. He openly said that he's interested to, if there's an interest from the Indian side, that he would be willing to play for India. But again, we need to make the moves to get players like that to play for us. And Shan is someone, who I'm tracking, who's last season was at Vancouver FC, and now is at Valor FC in the Canadian Premier League. Before that, was actually with the B team of Inter Miami. So, so therefore, that's something. And I'll just post if you want. I'm posting the interview here. Yeah, if you want to see. AIFF and some stakeholders are currently, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back, but due to that, Indian football suffering. Yeah, but yes, they do that, and then they fight, and then they come back together, and then, it seems to be they've sorted, and then it will not work. Only if broadcasts come to Sony, I-League will come in level terms. The games are competitive, close to now. They're bad. Sanjit, I don't know how you can defend the I-League. If I'm a Sony executive and I have to look at that, I'll be saying, guys, please, I don't want to watch it. It's really, really tough. Really, really tough, I would say. Not of the quality that I think that, not of the level that we're looking, we need, not looking at, but we need in Indian football. I think that's an honest opinion. Sorry to say that. Do you think in Europe certain countries lived up to expectation, but others cannot? Likewise, Poland. Yeah, Murari. That's the football world. Around the world, you have teams who are doing good. Let's see. Ashish Negi isn't very optimistic regarding the future of Indian football under the current regime, but also they have other departments who have some state affairs. What are your views on it? Mayank, I said when these people came in, they will not improve Indian football. I said that in 22, and I stick to it. But there were a lot of people who said, oh yeah, great. They will change Indian football. And people were jumping up and down. And we are where we are. Sorry to say that, people might say, and then I sometimes see things maybe in a different way, analyze, look at it. But I think people forget. And I did a tweet a few days ago. The old AIFF regime wasn't perfect, but they knew what they realistically could implement. They were pragmatic in their approach. It wasn't liked by people, but that's the reality of Indian football. And that's what Kushal Das, Sunanda Dhar, and all the others did. Right? Praful Patel was and is a politician, but you needed him sometimes to get things cleared. Kalyan can't do that. And look at the secretaries who we've had. They're not capable. Sorry. Striker Anand Batra, Fulham U18, midfielder Rio Pamar, West Brom under 18, centre back Rice Kela, Leicester U18, Taylor Foreign, ex-Arsenal U23, currently at Bromley. Yeah, we have players. Listen, we can put a whole team of PIOs, OCIs together tomorrow if you want. In a prior stream, you mentioned ISL coming into this and made I-League better. Can you explain what ways it got better? The point to me is very, very simple. If you look at the way that the I-League used to be run and organized, if you look at how the teams used to run, organize, structure themselves, right? If you see all of those things, I have seen a massive development over the last decade. If you see how, be it even match organization of the ISL, I-League teams, coaching staff, support staff, travel, hotels. A lot of these teams have tried to copy what the ISL teams were doing from season one, right? If you look at how, let's say East Bengal Mohun Bagan used to be run as I-League teams, and then you would have come back, let's say 2 years later, 3 years later. It changed because at that time, the ISL used to be run in the first half of the season, the I-League used to be run in the second half of the season, and the players were the same, right? So therefore, the players used to come back to the I-League clubs and say, listen, you're not good enough. I don't want to, do this. I don't want this. I want better. And therefore, the I-League had to step up. And therefore, even if, let's say, today's broadcast, SSEN, it is so good because the guys who are producing it in the background, either they have an ISL background or IPL background, but they know what top-level professional sports needs to be, right? That the football is not good, that's a different question. But from an operational, organizational standpoint, also the I-League department under Sunando learned a lot of things that they could do. And again, the bubble, for example, they also learned. The ISL went ahead, and then the I-League, AIFF copied it in their own ways with less manpower. So therefore, that's how I mean it. If our young players give challenge in Dallas Cup, can we say we have improved or win any match we developed? Murali, playing those youth tournaments, competitions is great. We can only say that we've developed when we see the end product. If we say tonight, like, we qualify for under 17 World Cup, it's great. But my ultimate aim is, and has to be that we qualify with our senior national team for a World Cup one day. That has to be our aim. What we do at youth level, great, but that's not gonna, cut it. How do these local Cape football type games get so many organic viewers and ISL I-League struggles apart from national derbies? Local connect. The CFL also, for example, in Kolkata has its, there is something in those. It's more. See, people see. Those of you who are watching this, I would call you genuine football fans. People who are interested in Indian football, who are coming back regularly. Thank you very much for that. Right, but on the other side, there are people a lot of the people who are watching ISL, I-League, who see it as entertainment. And as that, if I want to see it as entertainment, then I have to say, as entertainment, it's not good enough, right? So this is the realities of where we are, and it needs to be better. In a certain time, we fall trapped to fake promises if they don't. What goes behind the scenes? Yeah, a lot of times. Again, sorry, but you guys know, you might think you know a lot what is happening in football, but but you don't. There's a certain I-League owner who's acting as a flag bearer to all I-League, but behind the scenes has his team on sale. Mayank, also, again, to break something to you guys, that some of the I-League teams were clear that they will not boycott the I-League. The night before, all this showdown talks and whatever, it looks like that, certain teams wanted to play because they also realize not playing sets a very, very bad precedent. Spam the like button, guys. We are loving this. Thank reporter Faker Gupta for that. Yes, do like, share, and subscribe, as I always say. Please support and watch it. 12 likes so far. We need to grow the community, guys. We need to have more people, otherwise, things will not happen. And also do watch the videos that I make here on the channel. As I put out a little while ago, Shan Hundal, if you want to have a OCI player conversation, which I had a while back. On the other side, I'll release tonight a video, a little bit of a discussion. When will OCI players play for Indian football national team again? And there you see some of the players that I think we should need to try, target. Aside such Dave, Danny Bath, Dylan, Shan, Jan, and Akhil, and Harpreet, some of the players that should be on our list. So do watch that, watch the other videos as well. And as always, thank you for your support. How do you see football fans and social media, roster player and club? Your thoughts as a person who worked a football game long. See, the football fan in me wants to enjoy and watch football. The person working in the business, it's something different, and that's something which you should not forget. If you had a chance to suggest President Kalyan on ex-football Kalyan, what is one that you think you would give him? See, Mike, I know Kalyan for over 20 years. I met him first time in India, and then we interacted when he was here in Germany. He was trying to get a contract over here. Might have actually gotten it also. I'm not sure. And again, publicly, I don't know what if I'm going to make him suggestions, I think I should do it, maybe under, between us or maybe one or two other person in there, but not publicly. Don't think that this whole public business of saying, what, this and that. No, I think I tell a lot of people, I've told a lot of people a lot of things, which I say a lot here, but I actually don't say much, if you understand what I mean. So, yeah. Do you think Peter Crouch, crazy player, the Saskatchewan, he has done certain crazy bicycle? Why should I call him a crazy player? Peter Crouch was effective, period. If Gokulam win I-League, then we'll see Canada Derby a big competition for Kolkata Derby. I'm not sure. Gokulam doesn't have the fan backing that they used to have. I don't know if they go to the ISL, if they will change that, but Gokulam has to prove that they have the fan backing that, a lot of people talk about. Devash is talking BS. Okay, Blue. You said I'm not a person who takes selfies or pose with stars, autorism, Italian like that, or the country which you brought up made like that. I don't talk about countries. I talk about myself. Yeah, I once in a while, maybe I should be taking selfies here and there for my Instagram, but yeah, I don't do that. That's me. If Argentina came and scammed to fans by not playing Messi like Inter Miami do in Hong Kong All-Star match, they get huge money for this match, and fans came to watch Messi, but Messi don't play. Sachin, that's a risk. That is always a risk. Inter Miami didn't scam the fans. Again, that's what fans will say, but let's say Messi's not fit. It happened, the hype last year around Neymar playing for Al Hilal against Mumbai City in the Champions League. Mumbai shifted the game from Mumbai Football Arena to DY Patil. It can happen. Northeast United is playing really good this season under Benali. Yes, Mac, they are impressive. The question is, towards the end of the match today, I thought, can they really see out this game, or will they struggle? And in the end, actually, they struggled quite a bit. Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry. These club officials, along with our management, are destroying Bengal football. Yeah. And again, Mohun Bagan is top of the table. So everything is hunky-dory. If India fails to qualify for Asia Cup, which looks likely, irrespective of what, would Manolo be sacked? Is Portuguese or Spanish resume allowed, or would government agree? Arijit, I'm not sure what happens if India don't qualify, if Manolo is going to sack or not going to sack. I don't know who will then come. And POCI is a discussion which is happening. And I guess it'll be interesting also if we start losing to teams in the South badly because they're playing players of origin, then the topic suddenly maybe come up on the table, maybe even of that of the Prime Minister. You said waiting 5 years not worth the attempts to get Indian passport. If the same thing happens in bigger nations like Brazil, France, will they wait long time? No, Murali. Nobody will wait because the player will then potentially try and play elsewhere. These countries always ensure that players get passports within 3 to 6 months, in the worst case 12 months if the case has to be checked somewhere. Minerva only big talks. If you want to develop football seriously, no disrespect, but how much would cover a senior team coach? Yesterday was pathetic on Delhi FC. Yeah. Why India is doing well in table tennis and badminton with indigenous players beating China and regularly, but failing in football. You can, individual sports, individual talent, right? Individual talent you can create, but in team sports, you have to have, that talent base as a team, and that's where we're struggling. That's where we're not getting there. You said our basics are not good in national team, but what about I-League? Same issues or no intensity? Yeah. If the basics are not good in the national team, if the basics are not good in the ISL, then the basics will be even worse in the I-League because the quality of players will be worse, right? And intensity, yeah. If the quality is bad, then even good intensity will not cover that up. The horror comedy Bollywood movie Munia has a plot similar to Indian football. Ghost of embarrassment always haunts us. Okay. I have a concern with Edmund that he's turning 26 next year. Even if performs exceptionally, will be a short-term fix to our striker problem because most players start to decline when they enter in their 30s. Let's see if he's a striker option even, right? That's the first question. Hope doesn't turn out to be another Joby Justin or a one-season wonder. Joby Justin, Vidyasagar Singh, I don't know who else, Did anyone impress you in I-League in first week? Kamal, I have not watched enough to be able to. I felt I-League was pathetic. I tried to watch yesterday, didn't work out. Yeah, so for me, no, I've not seen anyone. Honestly, PIOs being interested in playing for national teams or talk if they really want it, like badly, they'll move to ISL. And I think ISL has improved in quality. It's not really that of a downgrade. Why would they move to the ISL? Right? I know. So there are two things. If these Indian teams want a foreign player, they will want a foreign player. They will not want a player of Indian origin, right? And the ISL has improved in quality, yeah, but it is not of the level of where these players are playing. I want these players to play in Canada, in England, in Germany, in the Netherlands, in Norway, because the standard is higher. And if they come to India, they would have to come to India as foreigners, right? No ISL team will take them. I'm telling you that, right? So I don't know. You're on the wrong side, on the wrong track. SSEN app, did they do well? Kamal, yesterday didn't work for me, at least, both the matches. It worked today. I was watching ISL FC against Dempo Sports Club. That worked, and it didn't break off. But the quality was so bad that once the Mohun Bagan match started, I actually shifted back to the ISL. But the app was working today. I don't know for the others, but for me, it was working today. Sure, for someone like Yandana, it's a downgrade probably, but someone like Shan, he should be moving to India rather talking that he's interested. Why should he move to India? Rishabh, without the guarantee that he can become an Indian and then represent India. It's easy for you to say that, So, he'll get paid better than where he's currently plays probably. So, again, it's all about the money, right? We have enough greedy players who are fighting for money in India. I don't want those kind of players, right? And I think most of these PR guys want to play for India for the right reasons. And I think most of them don't want to play in India at the moment. I think, yeah. Sometimes a lot of friends talk about the bad quality of matches when they see Indian matches, but sports is an emotional angle more than standards. I can spend a day refreshing scores of a match. Yeah, but you've got an emotional connect to the sport, right? So, and your friends maybe don't know that. So that guy was saying lie again that all teams were united. Of course, that's his job, right? How do you rate Stephen Dyers as a player? Stephen, as a winger, with his crosses, better than all wingers that I'm seeing at the moment. That generation, I mean, I've seen them very closely. Stephen, Anthony Pereira, Benedy, Clifford, Ishfaq, better than the current one. That's the scary part. The current one should be better. As a Northeastern kid, I feel ISL failed to get the essence of the region by getting one team from Assam to represent the emotions. Northeast is a hub, but you can't bracket it into one category. Reporter Faker Gupta, the problem is a different one, that the ISL had to look at options of how to place 8 teams across India and also look at the commercial side of things. You cannot have 3 teams. If you have an 8-team ISL, you can't have 3 teams from the Northeast in there. And when we're talking 2014, we were talking at that time that there was a Shillong Lajong. That's it, right? In the I-League. Aizawl FC, Neroka, Trau, all of that didn't exist. So that's another side of the story which one needs to. And commercially, only Guwahati makes sense. From an ISL perspective, about how much money needs to be put in to run an ISL team, none of these other states, be it Meghalaya, be it Manipur, be it Mizoram, the states which are successful in football, they will not be able to sustain an ISL team. No chance. Reliance Youth, Reliance Foundation, Young Champs is taking football very seriously. I feel what's your opinion? They're taking seriously. Let's see if they can create better talent. Ryan Williams, Bangalore FC, and his brother Aaron Williams are Indian OCI players. Mother are from. Yeah, but has anyone ever spoken to Ryan or Aaron? I remember Aaron. We had a conversation about it at the time when he was in Naloka. No one was interested, right? I think if I say clubs sign PAO players, then there's a chance to withdraw their passports. What's your opinion? No, it's not. They will. At the moment, the process is 5 years in India, and then you might get a passport. Do you think Japan is one of the best nurturing talent in Asia in football? Or I remember early 90s Japan bought Arsene Wenger, but right now they're developed huge, giving tough fight to European nations. Yeah, of course they've developed. Japan is tops of the pops, right? Streaming is good in SSEN. Yeah, streaming seems to be good today onwards. So, I know a lot of people said yesterday, oh, this will not work, that will not work. Seems to that they've sorted out their basic issues overnight, and now the whole process is there. Let's see how they develop. Luther Singh is PO player of South Africa and striker and play in Cyprus top division, scored 3 goals for South Africa. Yeah, but Sachin, Luther Singh is no longer eligible because he plays for South Africa. We've got tons of them who have represented other national teams. Do you ever felt consequences only happening to player and coach but not to our leadership because of not strengthening system? Yeah. But even where are the consequences for our players? Sometimes. Don't know. The coaches are the ones who feel the consequences. Managements don't get consequences. But Assam has no legacy. Reporter Faker Gupta, who says they don't have legacy? With the Guwahati League, with the Bordoloi Trophy, with other competitions across Assam does have a football legacy. And Guwahati is the commercial capital of the Northeast. That's why it was placed over there. It's commercial interest. It's not about the biggest football fan base, the biggest interest in football, this, that, everything. It's also infrastructure connectivity. You have to think 2014 to fly in and out of the Northeast. I remember we took Hoffenheim in 2014 to Aizawl. That was a nightmare. If Air India did not help us in making that possible, we would have not been able to do that. So therefore, these are things that you have to remember. It's not just about football interest. There are commercial interests behind it, logistics involved in it. That's why Punjab FC is playing in Delhi and not playing in Punjab, because of logistics. Is India taking part in Asian Champions League? India will be in second or third tier. Honestly, which level is India considered nation? First tier, second tier, third tier, even lower by calculations. Of course, we're taking part in Champions League. Mohun Bagan was in ACL-2. One second, I'll keep on talking. I'll just be back in the frame. Mohun Bagan was in the ACL-2. East Bengal were in the ACL-2 qualifiers. Lost their game to Rafshan and then had to play in the third tier AFC Challenge League, won their group and now are in the playoffs. So from that perspective, our clubs are, where are we? As per AFC's standards, we are most probably between the second and third tier of Asian football. So that's where we currently stand. If you ask me, that's where we are stuck. And and that's where we are. We're not, the bloated Champions League saw our teams play in the top tier of the Champions League. We had Goa and Mumbai City, of course, playing. Goa once, Mumbai City twice. But now with the new reformed 2014 top tier AFC Champions League Elite, and then the AFC Champions League 2, and then the AFC Challenge League, our top team plays in the second tier, and the other team plays in the qualifiers. And if they don't, then they drop down to the third tier. And that's factually happened to East Bengal. And therefore, they are now in the third tier of Asian club football. And yeah, they successfully won that Group A with wins against Nejme and Bashundara Kings and a draw against Paro FC. So they are in the knockout. So that's where our standard is. We are somewhere at the moment. Our club football at the moment is between the second and third tier of Asian football. That's where we stand. And sadly, Mohun Bagan, didn't play after the first game because of not wanting to travel to Iran to face Tractor FC. That's where we're stuck. So therefore, we don't really know if we could have competed a little bit more in that competition against better quality sides in Asia. Sorry, I am back. Yes. Nihal Sudesh was good in PFC today, but finishing needs to be better. Did you find he was good today? I thought Nihal was one of the ones where I thought, Nihal Sudesh needs to do more. Nikhil Prabhu needs to do more, I felt today. I don't know. Let's be honest, there is no other way. Players have to stay here and get the citizenship at 5 years if they say they really want to play for national. That's why player quota is a good idea, in my opinion. Rushabh, I don't see that as the best way. Because again, there's no guarantee that they're going to get it in 5 years. Right? Aratha in the end got it also because someone helped him. No one out of football. So let's be also clear. Yeah. So therefore, I don't see that. I'm fine even if they don't come. I don't care. But when you say, "Oh, I'm interested in playing," but aren't willing to move, then just stuff. I'm sorry, but tired of this, of these people over the years. I think, Rishabh, we have to look at it from another perspective. I don't think you're getting the point here. India needs these players. These players they're fine wherever they are. They're making a living in football. They're fine, right? We need them. We need to make an effort. Indian football is not making effort, right? On this PIO matter, I have made more efforts in the last 24 years than anybody else, right? The whole system the government is useless on this. And it doesn't matter who's been in power, right? I would go to the extent to call out the prime ministers of the last 20 plus years and say, you have sabotaged Indian football by not allowing players of origin to play for us. My bloody PIO card went to FIFA in 2006. We need to make an effort as Indian football, as an AIFF, as a government of India. We look at what Indonesia is doing, right? They're doing everything to accommodate the players. Philippines has done that. Thailand has done that. Vietnam has done that. The Japanese have done that, right? We're not doing it. We want them to play for us. Ooh. But is this working? Reporter Faker Gupta, I think Northeast United over the years in Guwahati. Where else could it have worked? That's the point, right? If you look at certain years, the stadium was well fed. What are the major differences you working with Sony ESPN compared to new upcoming sports company? ESPN were pros. ESPN was very often English guys out of Singapore with Premier League, Champions League, World Cup experience, different level, right? But nowadays it doesn't matter. But that was top. Isn't India playing any more friendly? Why not Russia, Guyana, Dominican Republic, Modi non-match football, only cricket? He doesn't care about football. Arijit, that's what I'm saying. The Prime Minister does not care about football. He has mentioned in front of the Spanish Prime Minister Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Did he mention Indian football once? No, he doesn't care. Let's be honest about it. Did earlier Prime Ministers mention it? No, they don't care. That's the reality. How has standard changed since East Bengal 7 Padang win in 2013 and losing to Kuwait? Have we improved or drowned? The others have improved. We haven't. We have, stagnated and gone worse. Will you think Indian Premier League can give a good competition amount of money to Western big football basketball league? They are second best league in the world. Sachin, uh, the IPL, again, the IPL is one of the biggest sporting entities in the world. Yeah, they can, of course. But in detail, I can't tell you anything. आज पीएफसी कैसे खेला? पीएफसी ने काफी चांसेस मिस किया और एक शॉट क्रॉसबार में भी लगा, वरना जीत जाते. I don't know if they would win, Kunal. Uh, I thought Northeast United were better and had more opportunities. Um, and I don't see North no Punjab FC winning today. I think a draw would have been a fair result, but I thought Northeast United were the better team, and of course, 45 minutes with one man less, they did everything that they needed to do. Why did Syria play against Russia? I don't know. Again, they are linked politically, so let's see. नेक्स्ट मैच पीएफसी का मुंबई सिटी एफसी के साथ है. मुंबई में आपको क्या लगता है कि पीएफसी हरा पाएगा मुंबई को? Kunal, I have to say that I've said this earlier as well. For me, of course, it's a very special match because I've played for. I have not played. I've worked with both the entities. I've worked with Mumbai City, and um, I think Mumbai is stronger, and now 2 losses in a row. Let's wait and see. But I think Mumbai City are the favorites going to the match. Why India can't organize football against Caribbean teams, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, etc. Arijit, again, it's the AIFF is not in a position to do all of these things at the moment, right? Will Indian Premier League IPL can give some competition money? As I said, yes, they're doing it already. सिर्फ फुटबॉल के लिए PIO से वाला रूल नहीं ला सकती गवर्नमेंट, उसके लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में चेंजेस करना पड़ेगा. No, they don't need to change the constitution. And it's not just football, it's other sports. Tennis has been hit badly. A lot of players have taken up American citizenship after getting into colleges. So it's not just a football problem, it's a sport thing. I think India can gain a lot. China allows PIO players? Yes, they do, Gaurav. Why the Chinese league fail? The national team is at par or slightly better than the Indian team. Origin, the team is much better at the moment than ours, right? The league didn't fail. It's just that the corporates who were involved, 48 teams in 3 tiers, 16 of them went bankrupt. So they pulled out. Then COVID was also there. So the Chinese will come back, I'm sure. Real estate government is never making an exception for just football. If they do, they'll have to do it across all sports. Maybe they can just award citizenship to peers, but has it happened before? Rishabh, that's what I'm saying. It's not just football, it's about other sports as well. Tennis has been the biggest loser. When we first were trying, not first, when we were talking about this tennis, there were a lot of players who decided to take American citizenship and play on the ATP and WTA tour, because having an Indian passport and traveling around the world was or still is, not so easy, because these people travel week in, week out from country to country to play competitions, and therefore that's a challenge. I remember I gave up on I-League the day I had Noel Winston called Sunil Shetty, and Josh Walker, Johnny Walker. Yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yes. He wasn't the only one, reporter Faker Gupta. There were other people as well who've done that. The Josh Walker and Johnny Walker one I've heard a few times, yeah. Do you think Italy good defense duo, Chiellini, Bonucci, Maldini, Nesta? Yeah, Italian defenders over the history, right? Have always been good. Maybe to prove us across all sports, but it needs a political will at national level. Football administrators calling for it will never make a change. Has been voiced across all sports. It has been voiced across some sports, not multiple sports, but some sports. And Kalyan Chaubey is the joint secretary of the Indian Olympic Association, so you can raise it. ISL had so much popularity when it started. I remember so many greats playing. Then everything went south. Why? Money. in the first year, in the second, even to some extent, second and third year, a lot of money was spent on the ISL. And after that, less money spent on marketing. And at the moment, the league is happening for the sake of happening. And that's the problem. AIFF signed so many MOUs with Saudi and other Middle Eastern countries. What is coming out of those MOUs? Are they just tourism trips for the AIFF officials? It's not even tourism trips for AIFF officials because they sign them and nothing happens after that. Still Oscar playing a Chinese league? Not sure. Not sure where Oscar is. Either he's in China or he's gone back to Brazil. Is Tiger Shroff really playing professional soccer? He shouldn't be drafted straight into Indian team. Excellent physique, could be an asset. Tiger Shroff is playing for Mumbai FC, a new team which was formed in the summer in the Mumbai League. But I don't think it's professional. And again, how legit? Nah, I don't think he should be considered. In cricket, India have power to change anything in cricket because they have huge money other than but football, that will happen out of AFC and FIFA. Yeah, India control cricket, but football is the only global sport. So therefore, I always say there are movements this way, that way, which makes it always tough to say, football is moving this way, football is moving that way. And again, as I say, it's a challenge. Football faces these challenges, and one has to realize what way football wants to go, needs to go. We are not in a position to influence football in the way most probably we would want and would need for ourselves, right, from an Indian football perspective. And therefore, that's something which I'll say, which is there, and therefore, we need to look at those things. All right, nearly 90 minutes already on this Saturday evening, this Indian football discussion. Good night, Sachin. I'll continue for a few more minutes. As I said, also watch the other videos that I'm making, premiering in less than an hour. My video on when will OCI's players play for India. Have a look at that. As always, say like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube and other social medias as well. 16 likes so far on this video. Thank you very much. And we have 1,949 subscribers on this channel. So 51 to go to reach the 2,000 mark. So thanks a lot, guys, as always, for your support. And we keep on growing and try and become bigger. Do you think if BCCI took over football in India, would Indian football improve over the next 15 years? Rohit, a theoretical question. I'm not sure, because if you see the BCCI, Indian cricket is successful because cricket is a small sport. In regard to that, only a few countries play, so the influence is good. I think grassroots youth cricket, I don't know how strong that is. They have money power. If they can bring in money, that would change. I'm not sure. So therefore, I'm not sure if the BCCI coming into football, if that would change anything. Alongside football, don't you think tennis is also global? Yeah, tennis surely is global. Tennis is one of the few sports, I would say, which is really, really global, yes. You said politicians run football all across the world. I think Naveen Patnaik stood completely different from other guys. I feel he contributed to hockey. See, Naveen Patnaik never run a sporting federation, Murali, right? Naveen Patnaik ran a state. He has a tribal belt where hockey or even football is very, very popular. He first promoted hockey, and now towards the end of his era, he also promoted football. So therefore, that's the difference between him and other people. But he's never been, as far as I know, an office bearer in a sporting body. So that makes the difference. So therefore, these things, need to be kept in mind in a way that these people do. Indian football and cricket were on par till 80s, but the shock 83 made a huge difference in how a newly independent country winning against colonizers felt. Emotional value was huge. Yeah. Cricket 83. I think even important was the 1987 World Cup hosted in South Asia. Reliance funding that, Dhirubhai Ambani. So that changed the complexion of the whole thing. And of course, um, the coming of the IPL. The IPL has changed it forever and made India the superpower in cricket. PCI was able to dominate because of strong performance by legends like Sunil Gavaskar, Kapil Dev, Sachin, sort of now Virat, Bruma, etc. Can the same happen in football too? Or is it we need to have that level of world-class players? You're mentioning these guys have been world-class in their sport. As good as a Sunil has been, as good as a Baichung has been, as good as I'm Vijan has been. Again, I'm only talking about players that I have seen myself. And we have never had a world-class Indian footballer. Whatever even our legends will say. We've never, again, nobody in the world will know an Indian footballer in the sense of calling world-class. So, let's see. PCI don't want to PIO and OCI play for India. If they play, other federations start to bring PIO, OCI for other sports. They don't want that any sport take over cricket. Sachin, I don't think that discussion is even happening in cricket. It's rather the other way around, that Indian origin players are playing, not in Indian origin, South Asians are playing across teams around the world, right? So that's a difference in regard to how you see football and cricket, in my opinion. We have Indians playing for teams. Even hockey, we've got Indians playing for in the United Kingdom and New Zealand, in Australia, South Africa. So that's different. Can we say Indian controls certain amount of cricket? What about football? Is any nation controls certain amount of football? Indian not control, it controls cricket because of the BCCI and the financial might, and nobody controls football in that way. I know that people want to say this is control, that's control. Football is the only global game, so therefore controlling football globally doesn't work. BCCI was poor for a major part of cricket till IPL. BCCI became an uncontrolled beast only after. A lot of fans bash BCCI, but they are the last ones to be blamed. They are our only success story. Yeah, could be said that. Reporter Faker Gupta, yeah, can be said that way. How did we get good at badminton? It's very broadly played. It is played, yes, but at the top level, I think it's easy to be successful in badminton. And you mentioned, right, yourself, Pullela Gopichand is, I think, he's the guy who's created those world-class players. And again, success in Indian sports has come because of individuals, not because of the success of these sports has been despite of the system, I would say, and I would go to that extent, right? So that has to be, as it is. Even table tennis, Manina Batra, Sharat Kamal, household names at TT circles, why goes to Paramijin, etc., not even known to local Indians. Is Sharat Kamal known to people across India? Do people know all these guys? Do they know all the badminton players? Do they know all the tennis players? I have my doubt. I honestly have my doubts. Only after Gopi Chand's change in attitude through his academy changed the whole mindset. Yeah, but I think now badminton, let's see what they're going to do in the near future. Right? So India is dependent on, again, to compare anything with the BCCI and cricket is unfair, because cricket is just a beast by itself, and everything else is there, is surviving, is trying to fight, and it's a fight every day. And therefore, to me, the challenge is, and will be to see how how will it survive? So So that's a huge challenge. It's a huge task. Indian only knows the medal winners. Blue, let's say, do you know the medal winners from 2021? You know, um, so for me, that would be a huge question, right? So for me, would you know the, again, and seriously, do you know the medal winners from 2016, 2012, 2008? I don't know how many know. It comes down to coaching. We need those good local coaches in football, Rahim sir. Again, yeah, exactly. India's only good in that sports who are not global, like cricket, hockey, kabaddi, kho. Yeah. Where do you place India in tennis? Can we say we will be in top 20 because we have players like Sania Mirza and Leander Paes? What about Kansanaro? Morally, we never had Sania could have been a top class singles players, but didn't focus on it. We are not top. How can we be top 20? How many Grand Slam singles have we won? We are the double champions of the world, you know. But we're in singles. Where are our, how many players do we have in the top hundreds? I think the women's now are outside of the top 300. So no, we are not top 20 in tennis. Won't India allowed to go to Pakistan if they're drawn in same group? Sure, they won't be getting preferential treat like ICC or Asian football or FIFA. No, Arjit. All federations are bad, even worse than AIFF if they did it privately. And that's that's another reality, right? That despite all our conversations and discussions about the All India Football Federation, is that other sporting federations in India are even worse. That is even more disturbing, right? That the AIFF, despite all its failures, is by far not the worst sporting federation in India. Reality. Yeah, look, you're saying no, right? So therefore, that's the point. Who knows the Olympic medal winners? And ah, it's very sad. But these are realities. I talk about what I feel are realities. I talk about things that I can speak about. Not everything can be spoken about publicly. That's also a reality. But yeah, we need to get out of this trot and try and change things. Do you think England, Australia, they are balanced in sports like they're good in cricket, football, hockey, athletics? At least they could compete with world-class team, but we are nowhere picture. See, let's talk about the Commonwealth countries, England, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. All of them are multi-sports countries. So we aren't. I guess even Manvir Singh is more popular than Manika. Yeah, and that's the scary part. That is the scary part. Despite all our failures in football, Sunil Chhetri will be more known than most Olympic medal winners. And that shows you how big, despite all our failures, how big Indian football actually is. Right? Arshad Nadeem winning was special, but Neeraj Chopra is more consistent. Will many hold? Can we ever have a Neeraj Chopra in football? I don't know. Arijit couldn't answer you that question. I would hope, but I don't know. Rohan Bopanna is top class Indian mixed tennis player. Of course, Rohan is such an world class player. Now the oldest player to have won at the top level. Yeah, we've had many good players, but we are not world class in tennis also because we've never. Where is our Roger Federer? Where is our Nadal? Where is our Djokovic? Where is, I don't know, Steffi Graf, Serena Williams? We don't have these players. Our tennis players are great, but they've all been successful mainly in doubles. And that is a sidekick of singles tennis. The amount of dirt that will come out of every sporting federation, be it cricket, football, or kho, the system issues are deeply rooted unless you manage to break free of the system. Yeah, very well said. Look at the whole wrestling mess. I guess Neeraj is the only one who's popular and PV Sandhu and none are popular except him. Yeah, I think so. Agree, Blue. Who cares about mixed, quite honestly, apart from us? I'm not talking about mixed, I'm talking about doubles. What about England? Are they good in tennis compared to us? Is the same problem development process back? Morally, they're good. I mean, they have Raducanu at the moment, have others. Um, they're Great Britain has been good in tennis. Shuman Nagal has been top 100 for a while in tennis now. Sumit totally overachieved in how he's holding up. Surely, on a personal front, yes. But is Sumit a player who can win a Grand Slam in singles? Can he challenge Alcaraz? Can he challenge Zinner? All these guys? It is pathetic. Kabaddi is not in Olympics, but breakdancing was. Breakdancing as a sport origin is being played around the world. Is Kabaddi being played around the world? Yeah? Is Andy Murray as good as Andy Murray has won Grand Slams, Olympic medals. None of our players are close to Andy Murray. Pro Kabaddi team are more valuable as the clubs. Who says that, Sachin? Who in a sane mind would say that Kabaddi teams are more valuable than ISL teams? They're no, again, and if someone is claiming that, it's BS, right? At least as per my knowledge and understanding. So, yeah. I was talking about what about England? Are they good in tennis compared to us? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So, reporter Fekha Gupta. Yeah. So, the comparisons again, we are a very, very small fish. Yeah. So that's it. No, he can't. One needs to be in top 20 to win Masters and better tournaments. So, it might pull off winning a challenge. Exactly. So, therefore, the comparison doesn't work, right? We all talk about Neeraj Chopra, but he went training to Russia. Do you think he break the chain, went out of the system? Of course, you have to. Just ask the pro kabaddi player their salary. Yeah, their valuation is more than I said. No, it's not Sachin. Their valuation, people are the way they evaluate the clubs. Look at the valuation of the pro kabaddi teams, and then look at the valuation of the ISL teams. The ISL teams will be at least valued 3 to 5 times higher than a pro kabaddi team. They won't be sold. That's a different discussion. But the valuation of an ISL team will be higher than a pro kabaddi team. 100%. I'm 100% certain of that. Leander, when he had that Agassi match in Olympics, looked so bright. Something went wrong, and I don't want to blame Leander because the sparks were there. I don't think if you are going to be, again, Leander playing for India, be it Olympics or be it Davis Cup, has been an exceptional player. But in singles, I think if I'm not wrong, the highest rankings was in the 70s. Lee was never, ever close to a Grand Slam. As a doubles player, he's been one of the best ever. But singles, no. And singles counts, right? I can see India winning gold in cricket, maybe win gold in hockey with luck. Shooting, wrestling to even a bronze and TT or badminton is not impossible, but a world football will top. Yeah, let's see. Do you think kind of exposure that European player get at a young age is different compared to Indian kid? 100%. Really, we've spoken about it so many times. There's no comparison on that front, right? You know, so to me, again, comparisons, these don't work. 32 team was possible last World Cup, and will you think it is global? USA, Poland also play. No, it's not global. Sachin, look at these countries who are playing, right? Most of them are being represented by Indians. There is a German cricket national team, and there is no German in the German national cricket team. They're all South Asian, Australians, English, whatever. So it's not a global game. I doubt India winning gold in cricket. Women, no chance. Men, maybe. I don't have, Yanda Mesh are multiple Grand Slam winners. Nothing went wrong. Arjit went wrong. Yeah, but they didn't win it in singles. That is what counts. In India, we've made them to superstars because we don't have better players. But in a global context, if you would ask people who know tennis or who follow tennis but don't follow it too much and they speak about stars, Leander and Mahesh will never turn up as names being mentioned, right? Yeah, I just mean a single match in Olympic singles against I won, but one gold and Leander won bronze. It was a well spoken about match in India, of course. Do you think priority and development process is the main thing, and that's why we're not good in sports at international arena? Yeah, it's not sports is not a priority in India. Those people who succeed despite of the system. Simple. So therefore, that's the reality, and we have to live with it, and hopefully it will change. But at the moment, I don't know how they're able to do 32 World Cup cricket. They cannot do that. Sachin, if they want to, they can do a 32 team World Cup, but the standard would be inferior. You can grow sports, do sports, but yeah, tennis doubles aren't even talked about except India. It's like IPL, ISL, and I-League. Yeah, agree, Blue. Slowly want to come to an end of this Saturday night live Indian football discussion. Thanks once again. And let's keep these discussions happening. Again, we, towards the end, went a little generic on sports in India, so we can do that as well once in a while. But the ISL has started again, so that's, I guess, good news for the football fans. And tomorrow, Kerala Blasters against Chennai FC. Interesting game, I think, because Mikkel Store is under pressure. Owen Coyle is on a high. So let's enjoy that game. I'll be back tomorrow night with another live. And a little over half an hour, I'll be premiering the video on my latest thoughts on players of Indian origin. And look at it, enjoy, and I'll be back tomorrow night. Catch you then. Good night.